Greetings. My name is Dontrell Jackson Ross. To the members of the Education of the Year Selection Committee, please accept my sincere gratitude for your time and consideration of my nomination for this award. I am deeply honored to submit my materials for your review. What follows is an overview of my nomination materials. More detailed documentation can be found on my CV and my supporting materials as well. I have served in higher education for the past 15 years with experience across multiple institutions with diverse student populations. I currently teach at Columbus State University. I have taught here as a lecturer of English since 2021. I've also taught at Charter Oak State College since 2014 as an online English instructor. I also teach in their interdisciplinary department. Previously, I have taught at Everett Waters University from 2014 to 2018 as both an assistant professor of English and a quality enhancement program specialist. I have also taught at Monroe University from 2011 to 2014. In addition to these primary appointments, I've taught part-time at other institutions across the nation, which has broadened my exposure to varied academic cultures, instructional modalities, and student demographics. During my 15 years of service as an educator, I have been blessed and also I have been honored to hear students talk to me about the impact of my courses. Specifically here at CSU, students have let administration know that they have enjoyed my class or that my class has been impactful by sending me caught in the act teaching documents. Here is one of these documents that I received from a student this past semester. Apart from being considerate and patient, you've been encouraging and sincere. As a student in only the second semester out of 8 years of eventual attendance, I'd like to thank you for making college something to love and not fear. You've been the most relatable individual I've known on campus yet, and I'm so incredibly grateful to have received further education under your tutelage. I sincerely hope I have many more classes with you as my instructor at Columbus State University. Thank you, Professor Dontrell Jackson Ross, for being you and for being here. This was heartwarming, heartfelt, and highly appreciated. My teaching philosophy centers on student success, intentional instructional alignment, and multimodal engagement strategies that recognize the diverse ways students learn. I believe effective teaching begins with clarity of purpose by aligning learning outcomes, instructional activities, and assessments to create coherence, transparency, and meaningful learning experiences. Now, in congruence with that, drawing upon multimodal pedagogical frameworks and the principles of equity, I intentionally design lessons that students experience visual, auditory, and kinesthetic modalities. And from my experiences, students have really enjoyed this type of engagement. My classes go beyond just writing essays and research papers, but students are immersed into their learning experience by way of group projects, other collaborative activities, such as creating skits, reenactments of literature. They do investigative studies about current events, and anything that's hands-on that gets them to understand the content in a more comprehensive way. My goal is not simply to transmit information, but to cultivate critical thinkers, confident communicators, and reflective learners. I view the classroom as a special space where students are both challenged and supported as they go forth in their intellectual agency. So here at CSU, I teach 5 different courses. I teach a range of undergraduate English courses, including first-year composition and gateway writing courses that serve as foundational academic experiences for students across all disciplines. Most of these courses emphasize academic writing, rhetorical awareness, research development, and critical analysis. In addition to my composition courses, I also teach within the English major, and this course includes multicultural literature, where students engage with diverse voices, cultural narratives, and critical frameworks that expand their understanding of identity and global perspectives. And beyond the English discipline, I really enjoy teaching in the humanities, and I get that opportunity by teaching comparative arts, which invites students to analyze artistic expression through literature, music, visual art, and performance. Since I am also a musician, I like to embed both my love for literature and my love for music into one course, so students are able to integrate and see the interchangeable nature of both of these art forms. Now, uniquely, I teach support courses as well that embed goals program students into the traditional classroom environment. And this is intentional to make them aware and make them a part of the fabric of the collegiate community. Across all courses, I integrate multimodal assignments, scaffolded research projects, and collaborative learning opportunities. And these activities and these initiatives have been monumental for students here at CSU. My institutional service includes active participation on the first year composition committee, where I contribute to curriculum refinement and assessment alignment. I also serve as an adjunct faculty mentor by supporting colleagues, in their pedagogical development and instructional effectiveness. Additionally, I serve as an advisor for the gospel choir by providing them with mentorship. So, what is English class like with Professor Ross? Well, students can tell you best that I like to do things outside of the box. Many times, students arrive to my English class with a preconceived notion of what an English course should be. But I try to change that narrative. So if you look here on the left side, there's a picture of 2 students. One student is holding a box of cereal. Well, these students walked into class that day not expecting to give an impromptu presentation, but they did. And this was their way of learning how to interpret persuasion, learning the Aristotelian method and how to use and navigate through logos, ethos, and pathos. I view my interaction with students as relational, intentional, and transformational. I strive to create environments where students feel seen and respected, but also intellectually challenged. I am approachable yet academically rigorous, and I maintain high expectations while providing students with support that enables them to rise to those expectations. Overall, I like to deconstruct the traditional perspectives of an English class by limiting lecture and literary analysis and expanding it beyond into something that's more practical. So while students do get their lecture and their literary components, they also get inquiry, they get reflection, and they get a way to apply the theory that's in class with real world perspectives. As you can see, here are some pictures of students engaging in those high impact practices that I like to engage students with. Before there were river courses, I would take my students to several areas on campus outside of the classroom as we discuss different topics in the real world. So here are some pictures of students at the Bolt Bartlett Center, which is a key activity of visual analysis in our class. I also have it where students are able to engage in comparative arts with various types of art forms. And so here are some of my English students coming to my comparative arts class to do a musical demonstration. Mentorship extends beyond content delivery. I take seriously my responsibility to guide students academically, professionally, and personally. Some of my most meaningful professional moments have occurred through academic conversations, writing letters of recommendations for students, and supporting students' aspirations beyond graduation, or even as simple as attending a sporting event or demonstrating an encouraging moment outside of class. And here's a prime example of this here, where I am pictured with several of my students who are on the football team here at CSU. Along with other notable English faculty, I was highlighted as one of the most impactful professors here on campus for the student athletes. And that was indeed an honor. My commitment to education extends well beyond the university into the broader community. I serve as a musical director and organist at 4th Street Church, where I provide musical leadership and mentorship to various generations. I also tutor and provide music lessons to high school students, working closely with them on their senior projects and portfolios. Here is a clip of me with the multi-generational choir at 4th Street. And here is one of my students who's learning classical organ. In addition to the work that I do in the community with 4th Street, I am also an ambassador for Rainey McCullough School of Art's new music technology program by partnering with their recruiting efforts for their strategic enrollment initiatives. I have been working with Rainey McCullers since I arrived to Columbus, Georgia, working with their choral groups as well as helping them to develop new initiatives. And the music technology program is one of those. Most recently, I have talked with the principal in order to help to create a pipeline program for creative writers who are looking to be English majors as well. So I enjoy the community collaboration and partnerships. My scholarly work focuses on multimodal learning as well as instructional alignment and faculty implementation practices. In a few months, I will confer the Doctor of Education degree, which is the culminating program of research centered on strengthening teaching effectiveness in higher education. My dissertation examined a multimodal intervention designed to evaluate how intentional implementation influences instructional alignment, faculty practice, and student engagement. And so I am quite excited about this here. And once I earn my doctorate, I am looking to publish some of my research findings across various academic journals. In addition to my scholarly work, I recently published a fictional anthology entitled Memoirs When I Woke, which reflects the continued engagement that I like to do with narrative inquiry and also transformational storytelling. And this is also a fictional memoir that my multicultural literature class has had the opportunity to read and to create lessons behind it as well. And so students here at CSU have been able to enjoy my work as well. Overall, I thank you for your time and your consideration for this nomination. It is indeed an honor and a privilege. Many students across the years have said to me how my class has been impactful towards their learning and their development, both here on campus and outside of campus. I see students in the marketplace, I see students at the grocery store, I see students as I'm traveling throughout Georgia, and it is good to know that I have made some type of impact in their lives. Thank you for your consideration.